podcasting, right?
Hey.
Hey. We're podcasting.
It's
Hello.
Me, the podcast
Wait,
man.
It's me, the podcast man. Welcome back to your your daily dose, your weekly dose of morning oddities, aka / late night oddities.
Yeah.
We're still working that out because we typically typically record in the evening hours of
Put on the podcast voice. That's if Mario was doing a podcast, he would probably, change his voice. It's me.
Well, yeah, because
Mario.
usually it's me, Mario. But no, when he podcasts, he would go and it completely changed. It would just be Chris Pratt, talking in
just Chris Pratt,
deep solemn voice.
Yeah.
That's funny you mentioned Mario. They just revealed Super Mario Galaxy movie, which is the sequel to the Mario Brothers movie, which we both saw together.
It's fun.
And I remember, getting shooters and having a good time. And there was other wine moms in there and stuff, and then a bunch of screaming kids.
Yeah, it wasn't like it wasn't like a packed
20-something. No,
and there was no one sitting like immediately right next to us, which was good. But I remember it was funny because it was like moms taking their kids and stuff like that in this theater,
and then just two 20-something-year-old guys watching the Mario movie because we like Mario.
Pouring shooters into our fountain drinks.
But Super Mario Galaxy as a movie, like, that's so cool. It's not just Mario 2.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many different routes they could have taken. I mean, they could have been like, they could have gone like the original run of the games, like where they goes to Super Mario Brothers 2, 3. But no, just a simple sequel, like every other movie that's like, this is Scream 2 or Iron Man 2, that kind of thing. But no, I'm glad that it's specifically going to be Super Mario Galaxy because I think for our generation, and I think if they want to make a lot of money, and they will again, connecting to a game that's more in tune with, I guess, Gen Z and millennial. Well, I guess Gen Z. I don't know. How old is Mario Galaxy? It came out in like 2008.
It was
like 7.
It was a Wii.
But it was the Wii. Yeah, it was. And that was really my first huge, I must admit, like my first huge 3D Mario game that I really, did the whole collectathon, all the stars. I did everything. That's the one I really got into. I mean, 2D Mario before that, just classic Mario and a little bit of 64 at my friend's house. But like Galaxy was really the one that made me like fall in love with 3D Mario as a concept. And I think it's what expanded it and made it, it had a bit more of a, Mario games have always had a loose story, just a basic story, but Galaxy felt epic. It felt huge. It had this grandiose, and the score and everything,
And I thought Galaxy,
just the gameplay. I mean,
like, actually kind of changed up the gameplay a bit enough to
jumping from little planetoid to the planetoid and
like that was
cool
that
boss
was cool.
Fights.
I
remember
even Odyssey, which has its gimmicks and is a arguably one of the best 3D Mario games, still feels like after Galaxy kind of
just an iteration
back a little bit into like a little bit of a safe realm with like
Odyssey feels
design.
more like it feels like more of a loving tribute to the Mario franchise than like its own identity.
Yeah.
At least, that's how I felt playing it, but I haven't really played it much.
It's good. It's good. It's got a Dark Souls boss in it.
I recently sold my Switch, and I'll be intending to get the Switch too.
Nice.
Maybe around Christmas time or whatever. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for more games.
Yeah, and
first party Nintendo games.
They did the Nintendo Direct this last week. It's where they announced the Mario movie. It's really funny. I thought it was a pretty good Nintendo Direct. I mean, of course, there's stuff that people were hoping they would announce that they didn't. But of course, you're seeing I mean, in general, people seem pretty pleased with it, but you are seeing a lot of people online, which I think it's funny, who are just like, it was just a terrible direct, and they say that every Nintendo Direct is apparently
I mean,
terrible.
to be honest, I saw the Galaxy news, but I didn't really pay much attention to it. I know what Metroid Prime
Metroid
4
Prime 4 got a
gameplay,
release date like
the
December
Tron
5th
cycle.
or something like that.
Then that's perfect for me because that's when I intend on getting
Yeah.
the Switch
and
too.
that's exciting.
That's the game.
There's
That's
some
my most hyped game.
new upgrades for older games. Mario Wonder is getting an upgrade for the Switch too.
Wonder was fun.
I haven't played it yet, but
Just
maybe
a
this will be an
fun,
opportunity for me to play it.
like a modern spin on Mario World.
Yeah.
Super Mario World.
There's a few, like Stardew Valley is getting a Switch 2 free upgrade, which is, has mouse controls and all that sort of stuff. The one that I thought was weird was they announced a DLC for Pokemon Legends A through Z, which hasn't come out yet, but you can pre-order the DLC.
Every
and it's
big,
like the DLC is like I think people think it's weird because they're like, it's like the DLC it's either coming out like on launch day with the game or like very shortly after, and people are just going, so it's not a DLC, it's just withheld content that you're just charging.
Yeah, I mean,
extra for. Like that feels weird.
Every big AAA game does that now, though. Like, oh, you pre-order and you get the bonus level pack or map pack or whatever, skins galore. Like, I mean, Marvel Rivals, which still doing well, and I still play from time to time. I'm not taking it seriously. I mean, I never really did, but I'm not like competitive in it. I'll mess around. Like they just added Angela and they're going to be adding Daredevil, like different version of him. But
nice.
That's cool. But like the skin, just what I got. Oh, I get it. It's a live service game, but like just shoving it in my face, like all the Gooner bait skins, like the Luna Snow beach skin made NetEase like 150 million alone.
Jesus.
Like,
oh my gosh.
But those kinds of games, those kinds of multiplayers. I get in multiplayer every once in a while. I think the last big multiplayer game I really went into hardcore, and I want to check it out again because there's a lot more stuff and like worlds, but like Helldivers 2, that was a great one. I have some good memories from that and want to get together and play again. But it's just I've kind of been burnt out on multiplayer a little bit, and we've beaten this dead horse, but just the live service and just like you don't buy a complete package. You don't buy anything to begin with, and you just kind of
it's and I'm not saying live service can't work. There are obviously games that have done it well and are fun
but
games.
There's the games that you live service. If it's a free to play live service game, I totally get it. That's how they make their money, and that's how they keep adding more content. Like Marvel Rivals does a great job of that.
Apparently, Warner Bros. In like it was like recent news.
They butchered.
I don't know if it was like
Multiverses.
Yeah, they butchered Multiverses. They because they actually had
that was one I was into.
They had something good on their hands there. Actually, they butchered that, and then they've stuff like the Suicide Squad game,
and they're doubling down.
And apparently, they recently, like it was like a stockholder meeting or something like that, they doubled down on like, no, we are doing we are still doing live service stuff.
Here's the problem,
and it's baffling because it's a company that just cannot seem to get like understand why the live service games that work. Fortnite works because it's
it's free. It's free.
It's free. You buy what you want to buy.
It's a bit of a gambling addict kind of game.
Yeah.
But you buy what you want and you have fun how you want.
Yeah, it's free. It doesn't lock actual gameplay behind anything. They make whole events out of like they make whole like the seasons and stuff like that.
They had the Galactus saga and
they do stuff like that.
They got festival, and like they're
honestly,
doing different things.
It's also just a good game. That's fun.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't personally play it. It's not my style of game, but I'm like, but it's people actually like the game itself, you know.
And then you have games like Roblox, which the developers, not to get a little dark here, but it is important to mention, just blatantly ignore like actual crimes, like sex crimes and pedophilia, and people, sending CP and inappropriate content to minors and promoting that kind of thing. And there's actually a lot of like hate groups that fester in Roblox.
Yeah.
And that's a live service game that's just, it's so much brain rot, but also it's like there's like terrorist groups on it. It's just insane.
It's a weird Roblox is a weird game, and I refuse to even like look into.
But you have
it,
a bunch of like 12-year-olds playing it, but then also a bunch of like 40-year-old basement dwellers just are doing all kinds of sick things.
Yeah.
But getting back onto like my whole thing I'm burnt out with is like you buy a $60 game, $70 game, sometimes even more, and you don't get a complete product.
Yeah.
Or at least you get.
I feel like
you get the basis.
Like DLC is great, and I want DLC, but a good game should feel like you should be able to look back and go, in hindsight, after the DLCs came out, if they had never released these DLCs, would this still have been
here's a good example
final product?
Here's a good example. I think it's an obvious example, but a good one. Just off the top of my head, Elden Ring.
Mm-hmm.
Some people think it's From Software's best game, their masterpiece. It's their favorite one. Me, I mean, it's interchangeable between that and, well, there's 3 interchangeable ones for me as a From Software guy, as a Souls-like guy.
Mm-hmm.
Really, just the original Dark Souls. I think they just got the level design, layout, story, everything just basically perfect.
Yeah.
Like, they just got it down that time, just lightning in a bottle. Even with some of the older kind of frustrating UI and gameplay, which was relatively updated in the remaster. But I would say Dark Souls and then Bloodborne, which may be my favorite From Software game. I haven't played it in a while because I'm waiting for a 60 FPS. I'm just waiting for anything. Okay. So we're going to talk about another game that just came out. Now that fan base, the Hollow Knight. Okay, Silksong. We're gonna talk about Silksong.
Yeah,
obviously
we'll get there. Yeah, we'll finish up with this stuff. And
they're done coping now. Come on, give us something. I bet it's gonna be a PS6
Oblivion fans
release.
got our thing.
Well, Oblivion,
Hollow Knight fans got their thing.
But no one was asking for that, really. Yeah. Like the Oblivion remaster. Well, I guess people were asking for it.
I just remember. It wasn't
like necessary.
I just remember the Oblivion remaster was for several years there were just rumors of it happening.
Yeah, but it's not
and it was just like every time it would get talked about, it sounded like people talking about conspiracy theories.
Yeah. And now all the Bloodborne fans for the last 10 years that have been foaming out of the mouth for anything.
Yeah.
Well, after the Old Hunters DLC, but like if I really wanted to do it,
Bloodborne fans will be like, Sony just had an earnings document that had something that had the letter B. Dude,
my cope is so
that
bad.
Could be a code word.
My cope is so bad. I found a Bloodborne shirt at Hot Topic that had renewed copyright, and I was like, "This is a sign."
It's a sign.
But I do think it is. I do think we are genuinely gonna get it.
They got
PS6 launch.
They got it at some
PS6 launch. They're gonna capitalize. They're gonna do what they did with Demon's Souls.
Yeah.
Make it a launch title with the remake. I just hope Bluepoint. I think they did a great job with Demon's Souls. Like it got me to actually play it. Like that's the one I never played before.
Mm-hmm.
And graphically, it's great. It keeps the same gameplay and just adds flair. But the actual art style, though, it's a bit more simplified, like a little bit slightly more generic dark fantasy with the Demon Souls remake. It's not like, it's just, you just know it when you see it, because like when you compare it to the original Demon Souls, like the whole look of that, and maybe it has something to do with the old PS3 graphics, but like the gray, like washed out look, that kind of loses that. You can do the filter, but there's certain character designs that feel a little bit, slightly a little more generic now, and that's what I hope the Bloodborne inevitable remake, or it's probably going to be a remake, so they can charge another $70 or however they're going to charge for games at that point. But probably gonna be a remake. I just hope it still looks and feels like the original, because really all I want is just a port, just a PC port. If I could play Bloodborne on my Steam Deck,
I think
at 60 FPS,
I think I've joked with you about,
I wouldn't do anything else. I wouldn't need anything else.
I think I've joked with you
I'd be done.
about potentially be like, what if Nintendo got a Bloodborne port before
they got
PC did? I'm like
out.
that. I think that would make you very angry.
Well, they kind of are, but Dustbloods looks like it's going to be like Night Rain.
Dustbloods looks interesting, but it looks kind of weird too. Good, because
it's
of the
going to be another like
stuff.
EVPVE thing.
Yeah.
Kind of like Night Rain, which I heard Night Rain with, because it's essentially a multiplayer PvPvE roguelike version of Elden Ring, which that's cool. And now they have the duos mode, so just 2 people. Like, you don't need 3 people, because always finding that third person can be difficult, especially different schedule and whatever.
Yeah.
But I think I will grab it once it goes on sale. I'm waiting for a sale on that. I do want to try it. Like, I love roguelikes. I like Elden Ring. Like, and the multiplayer aspect looks cool. Yeah.
Speaking of, roguelikes, one of the things they announced at the Nintendo Direct is Hades 2 is coming to the Switch too. With the 1.0.
I have the
1.0.
Yeah,
update.
I have the.
And
I have the alpha.
That's exciting, because that's a good one. I'm excited.
Pause for 1 second. I just got a call.
Yeah.
Pause for 1 second. Sorry, it was just Roshi. She went to her old high school friend's niece's, like little 6-year-old niece's birthday party, and said there was a bunch of kids screaming and stuff. She invited me while I was out shopping for finishing the suit and everything for the wedding. And I was like, yeah, I'm shopping right now. Sorry.
I can't go. I can't.
I'll be the fun uncle at my own niece's little birthday party. And at least they had a bar at that place. Yeah. But where I sat down and talked to a random dad for like an hour.
I think it was like a Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah, it was called or Jake's Place or something like that. Amazing Jake's.
But
it's like a
Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah,
type
it's like
place.
A Chuck E. Cheese type situation. Anyway, back on topic. And there's some other stuff I'm gonna talk to you about too, not just video game stuff, but it's easy enough for us to ramble on about. But what were we saying? Oh yeah, cope. Bloodborne cope, just cope.
What? Yeah. Oh yeah.
And I was talking about the 3. Yeah, the 3 FromSoft. Yeah, so Dark Souls, Bloodborne, and Elden Ring.
Yeah.
And getting back to the whole DLC thing. Here we go. Yeah, so Elden Ring,
that's where
admittedly, I'd like 100%ed in New Game Plus the base game.
Uh-huh.
Well, actually, no, I didn't 100%. I New Game Plus it a couple times, but it's so felt like I put 110 hours in that game, and there's still bosses I haven't fought. Yeah. Just to be honest with you. But I felt fulfilled, and I want to, it's the kind of game you can get back into that world and get into it. But the DLC, I really only got started, a few hours into the DLC, and I just started, got busy and started playing other games. But I'll get around to it. But getting to my point though, I never felt like it needed the DLC. Yeah. The DLC was just an extra.
Yeah.
Like, here you go for the fans. Like, here's more content for you.
What comes to mind for me is The
And
Witcher 3.
Miyazaki always does.
And I know people like to
Yeah.
jerk off The Witcher 3 with its DLC
Yeah.
because it's legitimately some of the best DLC. But my point being is, ignoring the quality of the DLC, The Witcher 3 base game itself is an extensive enough RPG that if they had never done any DLC for it, I think it would have been still considered a really great game.
Oh,
you
of
know?
course. Yeah.
Versus it's like, I mean, who knows? Maybe this Pokemon game is going to be really good. It looks really good. I might pick it up. But releasing a DLC for it day one,
Yeah. It's just a bit insulting.
It's like, why was that just not part of the game? Or why did you just not wait 6 months?
Right.
to announce that.
But I mentioned it earlier. We mentioned it earlier. We've both been playing, and I can't wait to really get into this. We've both been playing Hollow Knight, Silksong. Yes, it's finally out, and
it's
I'll let you start.
Is pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah.
No,
I
mean, it's just we'll get into the game itself, but I think let's start with
well, of course, the first Hollow Knight came out.
Yeah.
What 2015?
17,
and before that, it was
2017.
Was it?
Yeah, something.
Yeah,
like
2017.
That.
I remember playing on the Switch and loving it. I have way more hours of it on the Switch, even though I can't prove that, than I did on Steam.
Yeah.
I got it on Steam later on, actually not too long ago, just with the anticipation of Silksong. I was like, I'm going to get in the Hollow Knight again. But it actually started out, and I feel like I've played this, but the developers, Team Cherry.
Yeah, 3 people, by the way.
Yeah.
Let's keep that in mind.
Aussies, right?
Everything we say about these games, let's keep in mind, is made by 3 people.
Well, and I love that. Yeah, I love so much about. I mean, honestly,
my understanding is
it started out as Newgrounds, just a Newgrounds game jam. Yeah. It was Hungry Nights, and the whole idea was you had to collect cherries every 10 seconds, or you would die while you're fighting enemies. But like that art design, like a lot of the original like ideas for it were there. Yeah. So in 2013, in the game jam, Ludum Dare 2013, which 2 of the game's developers, Ari Gibson and William Pellin, developed a game called Hungry Night. Its main characters designed eventually became the protagonist of Hollow Knight. And apparently, later on, like a couple years later, they were participating in other game jams, or there's another game jam that they actually missed, but the theme was like underground.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh, there's something there. Like, beneath the surface. And they're like, there's something there. And like, we already have a cool character. Let's go back to that. And I just love how started out as just a free Newgrounds game that wasn't even rated well.
Mm-hmm.
Had like 1 star. Like everyone thought it sucked. Now it has like 4. But like, of course, because like, oh, this is the original origins of the Hollow Knights. But honestly, there's a really good like documentary on it. I forget the YouTuber that made it, but you just look it up.
But
like
it's Hollow Knight was kind of I think it was like crowdfunded, and it was kind of a slow success over the years. But over time, it's and I will say it's 3 people who have been developing.
Well,
who did that and did Silksong, and they did have this advantage that some indie developers don't have, is they had a steady flow of income from Hollow Knight, so they could actually take their time.
And they did
building this.
They sure did take their time, but I'm so glad.
My understanding is Silksong started as a DLC for Hollow Knight, and they just like couldn't stop adding stuff to it.
So it just became a full.
They were just like, well, I guess this is just a full game.
everything for me. I mean, what was so great about the first Hollow Knight, but especially well in Silksong as well. I think they're both great. I mean, I think I'm a little partial to Silksong. Maybe that's recency bias, but like the combat, like I haven't been this sunk into a single player experience game a long time. In fact, the previous game that I was actually into, I was playing a 10-year-old game, Metal Gear Solid 5 Phantom Pain. Fantastic. But like as for new games, there hasn't been a lot that's really Elden Ring a few years ago. Tears of the Kingdom, like there's been good ones, but there hasn't been like something that's really grasped me this way. Like Oblivion Remastered, I put like 60 hours in it and then just kind of called it. I need to get into it again. There's so much. I barely scratched the surface, but like, you know, there hasn't been. And besides that, I played some Rivals, played Helldivers before that, but like a single player game and also a game that doesn't have all this other accompanying garbage to it like a lot of Ubisoft games have or Warner Bros games, like the live service stuff, and also online connectivity. No, you have to have a signal to download it, but you can buy the physical copy as well. Right. I think they have physical copies out. But you have to download it, but that's all you gotta do. You download a game, it's ready. And also $20 in this day and age.
$20.
Yes, it's an indie game, but this isn't just any indie game anymore. This is a cultural, like a gaming phenomenon. Like this is one of the best we've seen in years, especially for the style, for Metroidvanias. And I love a good Metroidvania. Like, but like this, just the art style, the music, just the whole vibe. It's original, but it's also familiar. But like I haven't been really this game, and the reason it's kind of the reason I mentioned Dark Souls earlier, because I've been thinking about it. Yeah. What is this reminding me of? And it's reminding me of the original Dark Souls, and the whole Souls-like meme. You probably just assume I'm gonna be like, well, because it's a Soul-like. No, it's the actual the map layout and just the whole vibe of like figuring out this world through just like little dialogue moments between different cute little bug NPCs and stuff like that. And like the actual art and like the backgrounds like tell a story, and the music tells a story, and like I'm getting into the combat system. Like it starts out deceivingly simple, but it has such a high skill ceiling.
I love
you
the
can
combat
really
in this.
Get it down.
I know there are some people who are more used to the first game, and I know like one of the big changes is in the first game you have like just a downward strike when you're jumping. This has like the diagonal thing, and
like 45-degree angle.
It seems like a simple change, but it changes a lot how you play. And I prefer this style. It reminds me more of like Metroid.
There's more like momentum, like forward momentum, and I got the meme, the animation of the bouncing on the the red thing, the red area, the hunters area,
the Silksong
and just constantly falling into the spike pit. But like now, like after doing that many times and dying, but like this is a game. And I haven't done this with a game in a while because, hate to say this, like not a lot of time to play games, and I kind of just want to play something and just start kind of button mashing and just like I'll figure it out, whatever. But no, this game I really took my time. I'm taking my time and still learning, of course, but taking my time to learn the combat mechanics to a T, to explore every nook and cranny, do every like I'm invested in it because of it's such a great. It's a relaxing world to be in almost. Even you get the boss fights and stuff, but like it's such a comfort game that I really want to get into, and I really want to understand everything it has to offer. And like now with like the bouncy things, I pretty much get them every time. Like I just get it, like just muscle memory, just like I don't even have to think about it anymore. But before that, it was just falling over and over. But like it's so satisfying because
for
then
me, I'm at the point where
you're just playing through and like you don't even think about
paying attention to it.
Yeah.
I can get it. But I will
Well,
have
yeah, you have to
I will have
I mean,
moments where I'll get comfortable
you can't just
and I'll kind of
yeah,
just
yeah.
zone out, and then I will just get demolished by like
Yeah,
a
and
low
just
level enemy because I just was like, and I've had times where I like
one of the
that happened and I like had said out loud to myself, I'm just like, come on, pay attention. What the what are you doing?
um and I love the whole mechanic of you find your silk
Mm-hmm.
spun cocoon thing, you break that, then you get your bits back, you get your rosaries back.
Yeah.
And I like that mechanic. I like that you don't have to defeat the enemy to get it. That's
I've I have had a
like
couple
some of
times.
the souls games, you collect your souls and get everything back.
I did have
But
at one point where there was like a mini boss I encountered, and I basically like walked in the room and was just immediately like realized it was a boss and was like nope, and I just left.
Yeah, you can do
some
that.
of them it lets you do that. Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't just lock you in.
Where I'm just
And
like, I'm not gonna do
well,
that
you
one
can.
right now.
I'm sure everyone is anyway. Well, especially don't play with a walkthrough. Just experience it.
Yeah.
Get lost. You know what I mean? Get lost. Explore every nook and cranny. Unlock the map unlocks from the warrior merchant with all the different map unlocks. I love that character. There's so many good characters that like singing along and you hear them in the distance and like oh, they're coming up again. And like unlock the stuff, just play the game like the internet doesn't exist. Just play it and enjoy it on your own.
Yeah.
I think it'll be much more rewarding. And if you get stuck, you can go in a different path. You get lost, well, retrace your steps, upgrade, get your map, it's that kind of experience, in my opinion. And I think that's how it should be. Any Metroidvania really should be played. I think you're taking away from the experience if you just look up walkthroughs.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, we all get stuck at a wall at some point, but I have avoided that thus far.
There are certain kinds of games that
I want to suffer through it.
I don't mind,
but I don't
doing
even
that, like looking up walkthroughs. Metroidvanias, though, in general, I think it ruins the experience to look up.
It does.
The only times I do is when it's like an older one, and I really am stuck. There's been a couple times where I've been playing like Metroid, like one of the like one of those games, and I really did was stuck, and I'm like, I really don't know where to go.
Right.
And so I did look up that one part, but with this, I've not looked up anything.
Yeah. But no, I just been so invested in this world. I love the hand drawn, I love the art style. I love the animations. Just even every time you climb on the ledge or whatever, I don't know how far deep in the abilities you are, but there's certain abilities.
I've got the dash right now.
Okay, yeah.
I'm right now. I haven't had a lot of time to play this weekend. But I'm stuck on Lace.
Lace, yeah. That was what I texted you. I was like, oh, I beat Lace.
Yeah.
And I haven't had that kind of experience since playing Elden Ring. That's where I was invested in the bosses and all that and getting excited about it. But really, this gives me the feeling, even actually more so in Dark Souls, it gives me the feeling, because Dark Souls I went back to after playing Bloodborne.
Yeah.
So really, this gives me the feeling that Bloodborne gave me, where at first I kind of, it's similar in that it just clicked with me suddenly. I was struggling and getting lost or whatever, but then it just clicked with me. I get into the world and I'm invested in the boss fights. I'm invested in finding things and exploring this game and getting everything I can out of it.
Yeah.
Because it's and I am being completely honest with you, it is probably my game of the year.
Yeah.
Like,
I think it's definitely going to get nominated.
It's
Um,
worth its weight in gold. $20,
I,
and you're gonna get a full-fledged experience.
yeah, I think it'd be a crime if it didn't get nominated for Game of the Year.
It will. And let's
Will
be
it
real.
actually win? I don't know, just because I know the Game of the Year is like a popularity contest type of thing.
Well, it will win. It will one of them, I'm
It'll
sure.
win
But
something.
just the breath of fresh air again to have a game that is just a game.
Yeah.
There's no, oh, you got to sign into UB Play and whatever and have online connectivity and microtransactions. It's $20.
They probably could have charged twice as much, and still would have. People wouldn't have complained. Honestly.
Yeah, and I'm sure there will probably be DLC at some point, maybe not, but it's just a complete experience, and it just runs. It's not a hard game to run by any means. It's not that like the Metal Gear, the Peacemaker remake, or no, Snake Eater remake. I heard it runs like crap, especially on PCs, and if you want to experience that game, because I heard it's just the graphical upgrade, and that's about it. Like there's some minor gameplay, like movement things modern movement and modern like third person, like Phantom Pain style, movement to the game. But besides that, it's pretty much just a 1-to-1 remake of Metal Gear 3. But but with like the issues of like so many new games now are remakes. It's a lot of remakes, like the Silent Hill 2 remake. I said that weird. Like on my actual PS5 overheated, like trying to run that thing, and I was running on performance mode, and I think it's worked out now since the patches, but it's like I'm so sick of getting a game and I'm troubleshooting, and I have to mod it.
Yeah,
I have to mod it to get it to work. I have to get a modded patch, like with the Final Fantasy VII remake, remake, for example.
I'm really tired of having to troubleshoot games every time I download one just to get it to work how I want it to work.
The next game I'm most excited for, and this is one of my rare pre-orders because they cooked with the original, Ghost of Yotai from Sucker Punch from Ghost of Tsushima sequel, and because I know that's gonna cook, and I know it's at least should be as good as the original, at least combat wise, and the I love the art style, but like it because I know. And my experience with Ghost of Tsushima, it's funny that like Ghost of Tsushima doesn't come up as Steam verified, and that's because of the PSN connectivity.
Yeah, but it runs.
But otherwise, it runs beautifully on Steam Deck, and that was the last generation. And I've been figuring out as a gamer, and we've all gone this path. We went down the retro. I've gone down the retro path of emulating and everything, but now I'm going like to the last generation, because the last generation was actually the last good generation, and not just slop and remakes and just the same iterative thing again and again. Like, but yeah, Hollow Knight Silksong is such a breath of fresh air. I absolutely adore this game, and I'm just over 11 hours into it now. I've been playing a little bit at work, on breaks, been playing it in bed on my Steam Deck. And, I was sitting down. I was playing it here on the desktop earlier before recording. But it's just great on the Steam Deck. Like, if you have a Steam Deck, get it. You're going to...
Yeah, I've been playing it on the Switch, too. And it's perfect on that too.
Because it's developers are so concerned, AAA or quadruple A, what do you want to call it, are so concerned with like pushing graphic limits, like Mafia at Old Country, Unreal Engine 5, sure it looks great, but it runs like shite. You know, stuttering. Like, I don't need a game to look like closer to reality. I want a game to take me away from reality. I want it to be a game first and foremost, something that I can enjoy and not have to troubleshoot and that doesn't run well. Like, sure, graphics, I appreciate good graphics and stuff like that, but I also appreciate great art design. And is it actually fun to play? And can I just load it up and just play the game and not tinker with it, not worry about it, not rely on other users on the Nexus or modders to fix it, or not have to bypass or online support, or it's just so sad. And that's why a lot of indie games are doing well. But like, I think Silksong, I'm so glad it's so popular because it's showing developers like, hey, people will buy this shit like hotcakes if you actually give us good quality content that's not filled to the brim with slop.
And there's the reaction has been generally really positive. All the fans are loving it. There's been a few developers and publishers that have I think they're being petty, and in all fairness, most other developers who have spoken on it have like said good things and shown support.
You saw how petty like a lot of AAA developers were about like Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah.
It's like, we're not going to make stuff
there's
like
been
that.
a few
we're not
petty,
gonna put effort.
there's been so like I think that the two examples is there's one indie developer who expressed some contempt because they were just like, they go, I'm releasing a game soon, and I was planning, and it's a Metroidvania, and I was planning on charging $20 for it, but it's not nearly as like extensive as Hollow Knight because they have 9 years to work on it. And
no, it was bold, but it worked out.
And they're going. So do I need to charge $10 for it instead of $20? Like,
it's a tough standard, yeah. Team Cherry gives a tough standard.
And then there's been a few publishers and developers who have kind of expressed apparently that they're like not upset over the game itself, but upset over the fact that they announced it 2 weeks at a time. Because they're just like, there's a couple new games that were going to come out the same week who the publishers pushed it a few weeks, and like there was one developer who they were working on something and they were like, it was supposed to release the same week, and they go, luckily our publishers are like fronting the bill for pushing the release date.
No, I understand that, but that's
like
the free market, baby.
And
that's the free market.
The argument that they're making is they're going, a game like this, they ought to know that it's gonna make that kind of splash, so they ought to like have some courtesy and like let us like kind of give us a little bit of a heads up so we can all plan around it, which I understand, but I think is also stupid because it's also like, do you think Rockstar gives a shit about other developers when they release
GTA 6? That's capitalism.
Like
that is the free market. That's capitalism in play for you.
Yeah.
And I just want to go.
Yeah, sometimes there are games that come out at a bad time, and I understand that like timing and what game, what time of the year you release at, what games you're releasing around makes a difference. There are
but like indie games like this, they a lot like a cult classic movie or something.
Mm-hmm.
They catch steam. I mean, no pun intended, but like they'll catch on with fans online. Like Hollow Knight started as just like another Metroidvania, vaguely Souls-like on the on Steam, but it blew up because people gravitated to it, and
I think there was a game, I don't remember what it was called, but it was Atari, I think, released a game on the same day as Hollow Knight, Silksong.
Oh, really?
And there was something like 12 consecutive players on Steam. That one.
Well, I mean, people have to prioritize.
Yeah, but and it's like I understand that sometimes it's like that shit does happen and it
But
sucks.
that's the way it goes.
Off the top of my head, like one good example was like the Mad Max game from 2015, which is a really actually solid game with a solid IP.
Yeah.
I highly recommend it if you like kind of open world
Has a bit of the
action
Arkham
games.
combat and
But you know what game it released on the same day as?
when does this come out? Oh,
released on the same day as the Phantom Pain. So it sold like crap.
Well-established IP that,
of course,
story
everyone's gonna want to play Phantom Pain instead. So it went under the radar, sold like crap, kind of just.
the worst thing
it's been often comes up as in conversation as this underrated game, and it's like, no, I don't think it's underrated. I just think people didn't pay attention to it.
Yeah, because it was like movie tie-in, and that kind of screams slop. But it ended up
I
being
understand that, but on the other hand, it's also like, why should Team Cherry give a shit about?
Well, and also, who cares about their actual? I hate to sound cold like that, but like about competing developers, they're catering to the most important thing that keeps gaming alive: the actual customers, the fans.
Yeah. I mean,
just dropping this and releasing it $20 and just giving us the goods.
Yeah.
I want to say, just on Steam alone, over 3 million copies have been sold, and let's see when this is article. This is few days outdated, of course. This article is posted September 8th. On the Alinea Insight newsletter, but these are just some of the stats. 3 million, over 3 million copies sold in the first 3 days, which has made $50 million in revenue. And consecutive users, it peaked at 587,000.
Yeah,
on Steam alone.
It was reaching 500,000 consecutive players day one.
Yeah, and on PlayStation Network, on all the platforms, it's got over 5 million players. I think you mentioned that earlier.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's the hype is real, and it's not just hype. It's not just the next trendy thing. It's a genuinely great game and my game of the year contender.
And also the developers have been pretty open about how they had just a really fun time making it.
You can tell,
they actually really were enjoying the process of making this game, and
I think this goes for any art form, but you can tell if the creators enjoyed making this and had fun. You can just feel it,
and now all the Hollow Knight fans can have their game and stop commenting on every single. That was the Nintendo Direct on Friday. The live chat, people were going, "Where's Silksong?"
Right.
You're like, "Oh, whoops, just habit." Sorry.
Now let's just spam Bloodborne port. Just a port. It could be the same. Literally just a port at 60 FPS. I'll take that. Okay, and let the modders do the rest.
Yeah.
It's a going back and playing that. Even with the frame drops, I'm like, the goods. But the frame drops are rough, and they always were, and they always have been. It's not something to be ignored. And the modder that created a patch for it that ended up getting there was a DMCA on that.
Yeah.
It's so shitty, but Sony knows what they're doing. But unfortunately, From Software they can't do anything with it since it was a joint project. Like Miyazaki's the most I can really say is we would love to do something, but we legally cannot do anything Bloodborne related without Sony's go ahead, basically.
Yeah.
Anyway, I also want to talk about huge left turn here.
Yeah.
NASA.
Oh, yeah,
NASA has found signs of alien life on Mars. Ancient alien life.
Yeah.
Of course,
I went a little under the radar in the news for other reasons that we're not going to talk about.
Yeah, this went under the radar.
We'll talk about this because it's cool.
We'll talk about this. Cool. It is cool because there was also another UAP hearing Senate hearing for like UAP activity, and uh, the footage of the supposed or whatever it is, the UAP getting hit by a Hellfire missile to no effect from a Reaper drone. That's all cool, but I think this is even cooler because this is actually like, this is NASA saying, and I think I've seen headlines like this before, but like this is the like most legitimate one where we're seeing like they have no other explanation for this. It's most likely
they're
like signatures of micro
so
organisms. Like
they found a rock
on
Mars, and it has these like leopard print looking spots on them that are basically,
there's leopards on Mars.
There's leopards. That's what it is. There's leopards on Mars.
But like these little,
what it is, there's these chemical reactions, and they're saying that we think that this is from life. And I want to
other explanation.
I want to clarify a little bit. If you just read some news headlines about this, it might sound very similar to the last time, because like about a year ago, there was something in the news how there were like potential signs of microscopic life,
but it was just signs of like, not like,
and it was, but all that was just like, hey, there's some evidence here that we think potentially, possibly could mean this.
That there may have been rivers.
If you just read some headlines, you might, a lot of headlines I've seen kind of phrase it like that, where it kind of makes it sound like this is NASA saying this could possibly, no. So what these like chemical reactions they found is basically, there has to be a source of heat in the environment to create these chemical reactions. Like there has to be.
It can't come from nowhere.
And it has to be like a very localized chemical reaction. I don't remember the exact explanation of how these like what the process, the reaction is, but they're basically saying everything that we know about where this rock was found on Mars, what the environment there is like and might have been like, there is no other known explanation other than biological source.
Yeah.
Like, I have an article, and that's where I want to really clarify. Some news articles are saying that like, oh, the only explanation we know of. No, that's not quite how physics works.
Right.
They're going, no, every other possible explanation that we've thought of kind of breaks the laws of physics and chemistry.
Right.
They're basically saying like this is the only, like of course, like good scientists will say, of course we don't know for sure, there could be other explanations, but they're going, but this is like the only explanation we can come up with is this. And
I have an article here from CNET to elaborate more here from Tyler Lacoma. NASA found signs of alien life on Mars. Here's how excited you should be. NASA released a significant update from the Perseverance Mars rover on Wednesday, focusing on a particularly juicy tidbit for those watching from home. Small rock sample called Sapphire Canyon showed signs of potential biosignatures or ancient alien life that may have once grown on Mars. That's possible because of the unique location where Perseverance located the sample in July of 2024. It came from a rock named Shayaba Falls. This particular rock is in the Jezero crater, home to an ancient dry riverbed. In other words, water once flowed abundantly in the spot, one of the most essential requirements for life as we know it. Mm-hmm. While exploring, Perseverance cameras picked up a colorful leopard-like spots that eventually led to the Sapphire Canyon discovery. When CNET reached out to NASA to understand just what this discovery means, Dr. Becky McCauley Wrench, NASA astrobiology program scientist, provided valuable info. Whether we are alone in the universe is one of the most important questions for NASA to answer, Dr. Wrench told us. The current surface environment of Mars is not hospitable for life as we know it. However, if we do determine that Mars indeed hosted life in the deep past, it would increase the possibility that some form of life has survived to the present day in the subsurface habitats. So he's even going as far as saying that there could potentially be life on Mars, not dead ancient fossils, but like there actually could be like microorganisms or something in the subsurface.
Yeah.
Obviously it's
that's
warm
more
enough.
of a vague. That one is more of a vague, like they're saying.
But
If
still,
this,
the fact
then
that they're
potentially
talking this
this.
way,
But like,
here's the thing, and this, it's this is a question that could shock some religions, and we've talked about it before. The whole Fermi paradox. It's like, where is everybody? There's alien life, but like this, and if this is like confirmed, which it sounds like it's pretty much, almost very much so, is confirmed. It just opens up the rabbit hole. It's like, okay, if they found microorganisms or signs of microorganisms or live bacteria, like, whatever have you, on Mars,
what else is?
Then that says life is much more abundant than we ever preconceived. That it's not this super rare special thing that literally our next door neighbor Mars also had it.
Yeah.
So like it's not even.
It's a big and like I said, it's like some of the news articles are making it sound like, oh, potentially. No, they're basically saying like, of course we need to do more research on this, but basically like. And every other explanation that we can possibly think of is either extrapolating from evidence we don't have, or is breaking the laws of physics. Like, this is the only. It's kind of like one thing that sometimes bothers me in movies, because I think sometimes people, it's like when we talk about science very casually on like podcasts and in the news and stuff like that.
Yeah,
we ignore certain aspects of how this stuff actually works. And it's like one example.
Romanticize it.
Yeah, we romanticize it, or like we forget about like
brush over
what.
But we're not scientists.
Yeah, or we forget about like the basics of like, so like in this case, it's like this chemical reaction like requires heat, and that is the only explanation we can. So it's not like there's some other explanation for this. And one thing you see in movies, for example, is like, you're watching a movie and they're like, we invented an unknown or discovered an unknown element.
Yeah.
No, that's not how the periodic table works.
Right.
We know
you just rediscovered something.
Yeah. Like the periodic table, people don't like realize is not a list of all the known elements. It's a predictive list.
Yeah.
Of all the elements. There are elements that were on the periodic table before we discovered them in real life.
Right.
Because it's a predictive list that's going off of just like physics and how atoms and molecules work.
Well, yeah, and like,
so it's just saying these are all of the elements that can physically exist. So
we know there's abundance of iron in the universe, and
so you wouldn't discover a new element. You would just discover an element that is already on the periodic table. Just maybe it's one we haven't actually encountered in real life.
And there's someone maybe synthesize an atom of it or whatever.
And it's like, and I bring that up because it's just like sometimes like they're my understanding is they're basically saying like the similar thing. They're just like no, this isn't just one possible explanation. They're saying this is the explanation based off of physics.
Like, this is the explanation.
Like, this is the explanation, of course. And again, they'll probably say, of course, maybe there's some evidence we don't have yet that could change that, etc. But right now, from what I'm
hoping in our lifetime, like, we get like a terrestrial organism, like a discovery.
Yeah.
Like, whatever that may be, or maybe they're fucking in the flying saucer. Well, they're not fucking in them. They're in the flying saucers.
You don't know what they're doing in those.
Little green men are going to come down and they're going to blast us with lasers and wipe the slate clean and just going to, you know what? Earth, you guys suck. We're going to just wipe the slate clean. Maybe that's going to happen. I don't know. But also, maybe it would just be cool, like, if we found like a fish, like an alien fish or something. On Europa or whatever. Just like a weird, like a Subnautica creature, like on Europa or one of those frozen moons orbiting Jupiter.
Yeah.
like that would be so cool. But just this alone, it like it opens up the rabbit hole. Like, yeah, I mean,
it's a big deal.
If we're finding micro signs of like microorganisms,
I follow.
Who's to say why wouldn't it have something evolved to?
I follow what's his name? Hank,
like actual
Hank
fauna.
Green on
Like,
online, and he does science education stuff.
Fauna or just flora. If they found like a tree or like
cool.
a little bush, you know, that'd be cool.
I follow Hank Green online. He does like science education stuff, and he did a video talking about this. And he was like at the beginning of the video, he's like, "We should probably talk about this. It's maybe one of the most important rocks to science ever."
Yeah, yeah.
Like consider like the implications of it are just being like this.
It's the implication.
It's kind of a big deal.
Not just we found potential or what looks like signs of like life on Mars, microorganisms
like life
on Mars.
Could have
but
done
this opens up the whole door of like, then it's not that special. It's much more common than we've previously thought.
Yeah.
That, you know, the whole Goldilocks zone, well, I guess that can be expanded.
Yeah.
You know, and also the conception, and I never really understood this belief from certain people, and especially from like Christians and religious people, like that, no, we're the special ones. We're the only life in the universe because God made it that way.
Yeah.
But like, okay, just because we haven't discovered anything, just like you haven't proven your God exists, you still believe in that God. Well, you could say the same thing. Yeah, we haven't proven there's not life out there, but you can believe in that possibility. Like, it's not that, it's not a shocking revelation.
Yeah.
At least that's how I see it. But
and my understanding is like microbial life is like pretty easy
like
to create. Like it happens pretty
tardigrades
easily.
Tardigrades can survive in the vacuum of space, for crying out loud.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't think, it probably doesn't necessarily have to be the perfect Goldilocks, or maybe Mars. Well, it sounds like Mars once was a lot like Earth, had rivers and oceans and, you know, flora, who knows, but it's been long dead.
Yeah.
And maybe eventually they'll actually find, you know, it'd be great. Like if they actually, but the first manned missions to Mars actually really start digging in, like, and it would be awesome. Like if they found like a fossil, you know, who knows? that would be like, that would change the fabric of like what's taught and how people, you know, think of our importance or lack of importance in the universe, if you're a nihilist or whatever. But like that will change things.
Yeah.
Anyways, continue on with this article. So does this finally confirm that life once existed on Mars? It's a very good start and the most significant lead NASA has found so far. Dr. Wrench was clear on this point. This quote, "This discovery significantly increases our chances of finding ancient signatures of life at Mars. It suggests the possibility of life on Mars several billion years ago. It does not provide any evidence for life on Mars today." But think about that, several billion years ago.
Yeah.
And that opens up, in my mind, especially with the Fermi paradox, maybe the answer to the Fermi paradox is like, there was great civilizations, or civilizations a lot like us, but they're long dead, or most of them are long dead. You know what I mean? At least maybe that are within relatively close proximity to us.
Yeah.
Because like, millions of years after we're gone, the only like traces of our existence, well, actually, funnily enough, structures like the pyramids, stone structures will outlast our concrete buildings and rebar. They will outlast even plastic, which lasts thousands of years.
Yeah.
But like,
they'll get buried.
Our ancient,
they might get buried though, you know.
Yeah. They might be buried. Yeah, and who knows what's buried under sand on Mars. But that's my real, I just want crazy shit to happen because that'd be fun kind of mindset. But you know, I think it's exciting, and it's
Be like, if we're gonna live in a chaotic world.
Yeah, I will.
I
will.
Then might as well have aliens too. I mean, make it a little
and if they, like I said, hey, maybe we're done here, and you just want to wipe the slate clean, okay?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think shooting a missile at something we don't know what it is a smart idea, But anyway, what else? Oh,
ow,
since we're on the alien topic,
oh, you
okay? What did you do?
Caught in my headphones.
Oh,
yeah, it's okay.
You think you're gonna need a paramedic or?
I'm good.
Anyway, speaking of aliens, I've been watching Keeping Up with Alien Earth.
Oh yeah. I haven't gotten around to watching that yet, but it looks pretty good.
I would recommend it. In fact, I need to rewatch some of the last episode because I caught the last of it, half of it. But it's it retreads some old ground, and I think good ways. But it's also doing a lot of new, like I've talked about before, doing a lot of new, exploring more of the synthetics and like the corporations side of it. Like questions we had about like, oh, what does the rest of this universe look like? Because for the most part, we've only seen them isolated on ships or different space stations or colonies. Like we imagine what Earth looks like. Like, yeah, Ridley Scott said, like, or I don't know if he said this, but like Blade Runner, that would be like the world they come back to when they're done with their trip. You know what I mean? And yeah, I think it does fun stuff with that, and it has new alien creatures. There's this one that's like a little eyeball squid thing that like will rip out its host's eyeball and then take control of their brain, like control their host. And and
the sheep that it,
and of course, the xenomorph. I mean, it kind of proves that like the xenomorph is definitely is the worst one they have, but the other ones suck too for different reasons.
Yeah.
But
you don't have to be as bad as a xenomorph to still be pretty bad.
Yeah, but and they stay faithful to, like, I love they actually use a puppet, an animatronic, like,
oh, nice.
Like it looks real and it's familiar with like the original movies. Like it has that grubbiness, some of the characters are just like truck drivers in space, like the original Alien movie, like just like blue collar workers. And then you see the corpo side of it, and then you see there's this whole philosophical question. They transfer these terminally ill children's conscious to adult android bodies, and like were they actually transferred, or were they copies of, or does it really matter because they think they're real, they think therefore I am, so it deals with that. And but I don't want to go too much detail, but I'm enjoying it.
Nice.
I've also started Peacemaker season 2.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's connected to James Gunn's official DCU now. He does retcon the Justice Gang instead of the Justice League. Like he just right away retcons it, no explanations. Like, no, this is how you remember it. Okay.
Yeah.
You're misremembering. This is the canon now.
Yeah.
And basically how James Gunn is going to do it of like his previous DC projects when he had his falling out with Disney, and then they fired him, but then they rehired him for Guardians 3. But when he did the Suicide Squad and the first Peacemaker season, it's like, basically the stuff that he likes or that the fans gravitate to, he's going to use that, and
it's going to
retroactively
be like
he'll retroactively make things canon.
Yeah. So like the Suicide Squad is canon unless he contradicts something.
It's whether he contradicts it or whether
he retcons it or something like that.
It's canon if he. It's like, certain things are canon, but only if they're directly either mentioned or if they're not contradicted.
Yeah.
That kind of
so like,
obviously Henry Cavill Superman isn't canon.
Yeah.
because we have David Cornsweet's Superman.
Yeah.
But
like,
maybe Margot Robbie's Harley Quinn
yeah,
could still
she
be
might be canon
and like
unless James Gunn casts someone else, and then she's not.
Then she's not.
Yeah.
But so far, it seems like the stuff that he had his hands in, that he contributed to, is canon. That's kind of how it feels. But pretty much whatever. I think it's working out. It's pissed off Snyder, but cultists. But it's like, come on, guys, give it up. It's been years.
Snyder fanboys are weird. I enjoyed some of that DC stuff, but man,
well, I enjoyed it for what it was, for a darker take on the DC universe.
I think Man of Steel is an okay movie. The Snyder cut of Justice League I enjoyed watching. I think I saw
a really good take about I'm in this Superman group called Superman Hope Posting, and I saw a good take about Cavill's Superman that I think kind of just nails it. Henry Cavill played great in the role he was in, but they were afraid to just let him be Superman.
Yeah.
What I mean?
I saw one take online. It was like a core difference between the two versions and how they were handled by the writers. And it was that Cavill's Superman saves people like a cop. And Cornsweet saves people like a firefighter.
Right.
Which that kind of makes sense to me, and how it is treated. I like some of the Zack Snyder DC stuff. I like some of that DCU stuff, but
just beating a dead horse at this point. We got to move on. Anyways,
I rewatched Superman again recently.
Nice.
And
I love it.
It's a
lot of fun.
It's great.
It's
awesome.
We've done extensive reviews about it before, but I mean, it was pretty much what I was asking for, and I think a lot of people.
My fiance watched it with me. She's not a Superman fan.
What Superman's supposed to be?
Yeah. She's not a Superman fan. She doesn't really care about the character. She likes some comic book stuff, but it's not like.
Yeah.
She's not a huge nerd about it. But she seemed to enjoy it.
A lot of people a lot of people just say, "Oh, Superman's boring."
Yeah.
Because he's the Boy Scout, but he never really was the Boy Scout portrayal in any of the Snyder stuff.
No, yeah.
He was also a brooding kind of character like Batman's supposed to be, but you also have Superman doing the same thing. He was like kind of Injustice Superman, I saw a really good video essay on Captain America and the MCU, and framing how he and how this relates to Superman, honestly, too. His character, he doesn't change much as a character throughout the entire MCU.
Mm-hmm.
It's the MCU and his world that changes around him, and him reacting. You have basically a character. His only imperfection was his actual physical stature. Otherwise, he was perfect character. He does the right thing. He's an idealist, and he, just a quote from the first movie where he says he doesn't want to kill people. He just wants to stop bullies, or whatever he says. I could do this all day, that kind of thing. But his character,
the whole deal. So do you want to kill some Nazis? And he's like, I don't want to kill anyone. I don't like bullies.
Just don't like bullies. Yeah. And that reminds me of Superman, but and that's how it should be. In Captain America, Chris Evans' Captain America specifically, not that we have had many other major versions. We have the weird 90s one. But his character doesn't change. Stuff. He doesn't get dark. He questioned. He has his revelations and Winter Soldier, and knows. Oh, now I can't trust the government that I was fighting for. But he keeps his same ideals. Yeah, and Civil War goes further down. Actually
through and through.
Actively, and then actively rebelling against government. It's the ever-changing world around him, from someone going from black and white. Oh, the Nazis are bad. We're fighting Nazis, so we're the good guys.
Yeah.
going to a gray world, the modern gray post 9/11 world, or post Vietnam world, even, where aren't we the good guys?
Yeah.
And that's like a big culture shock. So you have, and obviously, and then going in the end game and everything else he's introduced to, like the whole cosmic scheme of things. But like he stays true to his character. It's just the world changing around him, and that's kind of how Superman should be treated. I think
one of my favorite moments in any of the MCU movies is when in Endgame, at the end, where it's after the whole Mjolnir moment. It's where it's just like Thanos has his whole fucking army. And Cap still does the whole, like, he doesn't say it, but he still has like the whole, he tightens the shield, and he has the look in the whole
one of the best moments.
The whole like I can do this all day, or the eyes up, stay sharp thing.
It's funny
where he's just he is fully prepared to be like,
it's epic.
I'm gonna fight an army.
One of the best moments. Solo, I'll die trying.
Yeah.
And that's why I think, and it's funny, as I get older and closer to the eve of 30, you know what I mean? As I get older, I'm actually, as a kid, I mean, I just liked whoever was coming out at the time, really. I mean, but like, I like the Hulk and Spider-Man and stuff like that. But and then as a teenager, I was drawn more towards like Batman.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, obviously Dark Knight Trilogy was just coming out. But I was drawn to the more darker characters that had, that
I like Batman.
Had a lot of.
I liked Wolverine.
Had a lot of baggage.
Yeah.
Yeah, Wolverine. Characters with a lot of baggage, with a darkness, like Punisher, Wolverine, Batman, Daredevil. Characters like that, where they're edgy, they're brooding, they're dealing with a lot of darkness, and they change a lot.
Yeah.
They go through a huge arc, each of them, for different ways, and they have their own stories.
I still love those characters.
I still love that. Yeah.
But
I've been more drawn to, and like Captain America kind of helped reinvigorate this for me. And like I think Toby's portrayal as Spider-Man's a good example, or Andrew, any of the Spider-Man, but like of just more earnest characters that are just doing good because that's what they believe in.
Yeah. Well,
you know what I mean?
It's like you can have you can have an interesting character that doesn't change a lot, but
what's up?
But you can do it in a way where like that's what with Cap, it's kind of like he doesn't change a lot in the MCU, but what's fun about and interesting about his character is, okay, you have this character who is very, like, his personality, his morals and everything are very well established. So how does he react to these situations? How does he react to this? So it's like, that's one, you can do the whole, like, a character arc. That's one way of telling a good story.
He does, but you can
also tell a good story by having, like, just how does this character react to these things?
Well, yeah, and that obviously Cap does. He does. It's not that he doesn't have any arc, that he doesn't change at all, but he's still the core of his
less
character.
Naive.
He's just less naive and more questioning of everything, but he's still this rock you can lean on. He is still Captain America through and through.
Yeah.
Like, that doesn't change just because his circumstances change. In fact, it makes him, for better or for worse, dig deeper and like, no, I'm going to do the right thing regardless of the consequences, and regardless of this new world I'm in, I'm going to stick to my ideals. And that's what I love about like the new Superman, because it's what Superman, like all-star Superman, but what Superman's supposed to be, where he's in he's kind in an unkind world.
Yeah,
he does the right thing and the good thing.
I mean, I like in the movie, there's a whole point where Lois keeps getting really frustrated with him because he's just she's just like, she's so cynical, and she just is just like, how are you just so trusting of everyone? How do you look at everyone and immediately see the good in them? when there's obviously so much bad in this world. And then
it just has a really simple
they
answer.
have their conversations, but his answer is basically just like, maybe that's how more people should be.
Yeah,
Like,
he doesn't exactly have a justification or good explanation. It's just that's just what he does, and that's how his character. And
he has this an outlook on the world that part of the reason he has that outlook is because he thinks that everyone should have such an outlook.
And did you see Man of Tomorrow was announced?
Yeah,
the Superman sequel.
Yeah.
Lex is going to get the battle suit and everything, and they're going to have to team up, I guess, reluctantly.
Cool. Yeah.
Hopefully it's like Brainiac or something.
I do really like when Lex reluctantly actually helps. It's always fun.
Because it goes with his ending speech to Lex where he's like, and I hope for the sake of the world that you realize that, like, you know.
Yeah.
Because he goes on saying, I put him one foot in front of the other, and I'm just like any of you,
There's one of the I really like, it's the Death of Superman animated movie. Which I really like, and there's a part towards it where Superman's getting beat up and Lex shows up in his like big battle suit, and he's like, if there's anyone who's gonna, I might not give a shit about Superman, but you are threatening my city. So he starts fighting. Of course, he immediately just gets demolished by Doomsday.
But Lex's ego, he wouldn't want someone else to kill Superman.
Yeah, but it's it's fun. Those moments with Lex are fun because it's like, you get the impression like, no, he actually does want to protect the city if it's only for his own ego.
Certain versions, I don't see that with this version.
Maybe
of Lex.
not this version, but
maybe not yet. Maybe he'll have that realization that maybe I should stop being a dick.
Well, but,
but he was gonna let the whole city die just to prove his point, just to get.
Well, then he goes, we'll stop it before it gets to a city I like. But,
right.
It's kind of portrayed as like, no, he doesn't give a shit about the city, but this is where his company is based. This is
when he was tearing a hole in the rift.
This is where his laboratory is and his all that sort of stuff is, and he also knows if he is the one to save the city, he's gonna have everyone's gonna owe him a shit ton. So,
exactly.
So he is sometimes actually willing to help when it is
strictly for his
own gain.
For his own gain. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
like a politician. But what was this? Oh yeah, and growing to these characters and to like these type like Superman, Captain America more, like I think Captain America is actually my favorite character in the entire MCU now.
Yeah, he's up there for me.
Like I think so much like hinges on how he reacts to a changing world.
I think he's the most consistently likable character in the MCU.
Yeah. Well, Iron Man, and if they go with this route, the whole Doctor Doom thing, which apparently the promotional art, if that's what it really is going to be, which is just Doctor Doom,
looks like
no weird stuff, like just the chainmail, the armor, the everything.
That promotional thing is
just do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But if they do the whole like, it was actually Tony Stark was supposed to become Doctor Doom, but because certain circumstances or because Kang intervened or whatever, he became Iron Man and became good. But like you could see Stark's whole arc in the MCU, he was actually kind of a bad guy trying to do the right thing.
Yeah. And
ultimately always doing the right thing, but against his own, like the little, I guess the proverbial like devil in the corner, like telling him, no, like we need the suit armor around the world. We need Ultron. We need any expense to protect the world and do my goal, what I think is best.
I think they could absolutely
see that fight against that.
Actually do something interesting there with Tony. But part of me also just really hopes they just don't address it at all. Part of me just really hopes that it's just like, no, Doctor Doom is Doctor Doom, and it just he just happens to look exactly like Tony Stark in this universe. That would
The
be
only thing you can just
hilarious.
address that, sometimes some people will just look or will just be the same person, but
Yeah.
that doesn't mean they're just
Or like
it,
maybe
they'll just
like,
look the
yeah,
same.
or maybe they'll
Or,
be like,
I don't
no,
know.
like this actually is Tony Stark, but like don't address they don't I don't think they have to address like why he became Doctor Doom in
What
this universe or not.
what do you
Maybe just
think?
in this universe Tony Stark is Doctor Doom.
How would you react? How would you react? And I've seen this is a theory that I've thought about, but like if it's revealed Tony Stark was adopted, he was always supposed to be he was Victor Von Doom.
Mm.
He was renamed. He was always supposed to be Doctor Doom.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
But because of timey-wimey Kang shenanigans, he wasn't.
Or
And there's a
or what they could do is he just never takes off his mask and they just don't address that it's Tony Stark at all, ever.
they're not going to do that. They're
Which
not
would,
paying Robert Downey Jr. almost $100 million or
it
however
would be
much.
really funny
not
though
take off his
if they
mask.
just like never
That'd be
took off
bold.
his mask.
Right.
And he's basically just like voice acting.
Right. But
Do what Pedro
what else?
Pascal did in The Mandalorian, where it's like 95% of the time he's on screen. He's
Oh,
not actually
did you
on
see
screen.
Mandalorian and Grogu got a trailer at D23?
Yeah.
And I saw a leaked version of it, and it just kind of looked like just more Mandalorian, which is fine, I guess. But I heard some early criticisms, like early like test screenings, which I don't know how they've already had that, but I guess people on the inside have said it just kind of feels like just episodes of Mandalorian just put together in a movie. I hope that's not the case.
I hope not. No.
But I also saw a funny headline saying that yes, Pedro Pascal will be in the Mandalorian and Grogu movie, like actually be in the movie.
He's actually gonna show up because it's like pretty much with the exception of the scenes
where
he takes off the helmet. He's just doing ADR the entire
not even
time.
in the suit.
There's two stunt guys.
Yeah.
Who I think there's specifically two of them who actually are the Mandalorian on screen for like most of the series.
Yeah. Right. And just doing just Pedro Pascal doing ADR. But I'm how do I say I'm not really enthused about that movie.
I don't know. I feel like it's been a while
since
I've been
Star Wars. I think the Star Wars project I'm most interested in is the Starfighter project with Ryan Gosling.
Yeah,
or whatever it's called now.
That sounds kind of cool. I don't know. Star Wars is in a really weird spot right now where I'm like, I think they're doing more interesting stuff than they were doing with like the sequel trilogy. But it doesn't feel like there's any like
still nostalgia bait
that they're going
and it's still
exactly either.
Like, at least George Lucas had enough balls to like do completely like a ton of new designs for the prequels. Like, no, this is the golden age. This is what the Republic was, and that's why all the ships are seem so much more high tech and
and George Lucas also really loved like the 50s aesthetic.
The 50s aesthetic and also like
a lot in there.
Art Deco, that kind of thing. Like
I mean I think
comparing that to like 70s, just everything is utilitarian, boxy, industrial. Like that's what the original trilogy, the kind of time period.
I think a lot of the Star Wars stuff that's been coming out has been like, don't get me wrong, some of it's been pretty good. I don't think there's been any like absolute blunders since Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah.
Even kind of the mediocre stuff is still like it's okay. It's just it feels like they're just putting out content every once in a while and like there's no actual direction, nothing to look forward to.
And like the case of the new trilogy that's supposed to be coming out like in the 2027 or something like that.
Yeah, we know nothing about it really.
We know nothing about, but it's like this is could be an interesting turning point. either they just keep doing nostalgia bait because that just prints money, but how long will that, be successful? Or go in just a new direction, just a new story.
Actually
Or a
take
new,
the opportunity to explore some cool ideas in the
yeah.
setting. There's been some stuff they've been doing that I like. I mean, Andor is fantastic.
I need to watch that.
And
I regret it. Definitely haven't seen it yet.
I watched Skeleton Crew, which wasn't
I saw like 2 episodes.
Mind blowing, but I really appreciated it because it wasn't a bunch of nostalgia bait. There were no cameos.
Well, it was more nostalgia bait for like the Goonies or like for Stand By Me or like
but it wasn't like full of
Stranger Things.
It wasn't full
Star
of
Wars.
like the typical Star Wars nostalgia bait.
Yeah,
it was just a little adventure.
Yeah,
in the Star Wars universe, and there was no like I got to the final episode, and when it ended, I had the thought, I was like, wow, they didn't throw in a needless cameo at the end there, because I will
concede
them to.
However, I will concede if they just do like Knights of Old Republic stuff,
that would be cool.
I think that would slap. That would be. They could just do that. Just do that, or do something at least.
Yeah, we're like they have to do something new, unless it's Knights of the Old Republic. We'd be okay with that.
But I'll be okay with that. Yeah,
Keanu Reeves, Revan.
Yeah, just do it. Just the fan cast.
If you want to do fan bait shit,
and he could just act like Keanu Reeves.
Yeah,
he could just be Keanu Reeves.
Yeah,
and I'd be fine. I'd be fine with that.
If Disney's gonna insist on doing fan bait shit, go all in and give us KOTOR.
Yeah, but anyway, I do have to wrap this up here.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go watch some Alice and I should have mentioned this one, Alice in Borderland or Borderlands. It's not a Borderlands show. It's based off an anime, I believe. It's a Japanese Netflix show in which like it's like in a VR world, and like there's a game master and they go through all these different trials and games. Not like kind of like Squid Game, but like more expanded and like a lot more action.
It's not Alice in Wonderland or Borderlands related.
Well, it's Alice in Wonderland related.
Okay.
Like there's the Queen of Hearts and stuff like that. Like it's all the games are based on different card facings, and there's like the main character Arusu. I believe that is like just translated to Alice in English.
All right,
it's fun. It's fun.
Nice.
I'm gonna go watch that.
I'm gonna play some either Hollow Knight or maybe some No Man's Sky. I've been playing that.
Dude, that game is like a whole entire game now. Like the updates,
it's actually
Hello Games, like
it's actually pretty good now.
Yeah, it's like that is one of the best examples of keeping a game alive going above and beyond on like not only like giving what people wanted, but going beyond that.
Yeah,
like
they recently did a new update for it, and it's not. This update isn't on the Switch yet. Because I'm playing on the Switch too.
Okay.
And it's not out on the Switch yet. Probably because Nintendo sometimes you have to run by your updates and stuff with Nintendo. So sometimes they take a while.
Yeah.
But I've been playing on that, and this new update though, I'm excited for it to be released on the Switch because it added in ship customization, but like ships that you can walk around in. Like a la Starfield.
Yeah, I saw that.
Which I think is really funny that when Starfield came out, people were pointing at all the annoying stuff with Starfield and going, look at No Man's Sky on how you can actually do this good. But everyone was like, but at least the ship customization is cool. And now No Man's Sky has that ship customization. So
right,
I think that's really funny.
I'm gonna have to check that one out again. I played it on launch.
I did
2016. Console,
and I had not like gave an earnest attempt at playing it since then.
Me neither.
But I've been
But
playing
yeah,
it actually now, and it's good. It's very good.
well, I'm definitely gonna play some Silksong on my Steam Deck before bed tonight. I can tell you that.
Nice.
Maybe before 3 a.m. because I'm been addicted to that game. But anyway, we will all talk to you late. We'll be back next week for morning and or late night oddities. I say if we pivot to late night oddities, we gotta do like a jazzing or something like a.
We'll get some jazz.
You know, that kind of thing.
Yeah, we'll find something.
A night, New York City, 1940. You know, LA noir type thing.
Yeah,
that kind of vibe. That's what I'm feeling.
We'll find something.
But right now it's still morning oddities, I guess.
Still some Vivaldi.
Still some Vivaldi there.
Which I always
Anyways, enjoy.